So my name is Joseph Malel Choge. I lead Unga Group PLC, listed in the Nairobi Stock Exchange. And as you may know, makers of your favorite brands, Jogo, na msurushe mawe tafadhali. X, and not your X, I mean X chapati. Rice and pulses in Amana brand, and then of course the animal feed side. And it excites me every day to come to work, to be able to feed the nation, albeit at a very tough time. Every time I see news, nataka kuingia chini ya meza. Because you know, when she introduced and said the guy comes from Unga, I knew the first thing is tunataka Unga ya 100 bob. And times have been tough. I must say times have really been tough. But sisi kama serikali tumesikia. We will work on it, yeah? So today I was invited to speak about servant leadership, and in fact, I was asking, what does that mean? What does that mean? Because Joseph shows up the way he is. Mimi nakuja vile niko, yeah, and so I normally say I just be me, but then I ask myself, what are those things that probably someone would consider attributes of a servant leadership? Yeah, going down and trying to pick the attributes. For me, a servant leader is one who thinks uses both the head and the heart. Yeah, that's the bullseye for me. Head for decisions, there are tough decisions. There are times that are crazy and some hard decisions have to be made, And then there are times when that call comes. Mbocha ameishia. How do you handle this, and it shouldn't be your story. Hiyo sio shida yangu. That's not my problem. That's your problem. So I know we have leaders in the house. We have young marketers, rising in ranks to be able to take over organizations. And I want to tell them, especially the younger ones, that you can actually reach to the top of your organization. Yeah, it's not rocket science. I got there in my early 30s, and I was like, how did this kid from went to Turkana, Lokichar Primary, and I'm happy Ekwe Thuro is here, who can confirm, our speaker, that times were tough. But this is just to say that you can go out and be anything you want to be in life, as long as you desire and go for it and want it. Yeah. So any young marketer growing up the ranks, you can be the greatest entrepreneur you'll ever be. You can be, a CEO at a younger age than I ever was. Chairman, exec chairman of your own brand, of a listed company, of a private company. You can be anything you want to be. Yeah. So don't forget that. If you forget anything I've said today, don't forget that. Yeah. You got it. Now, at one time, when I was growing up, leadership was about muscle, the macho man, the tough guy in the room, yeah? So for me today, it just means getting along with people. Because if you're a leader, you have to lead and rally the team behind you, okay? So this thing of saying you're the boss, the guy just shows up, that is gone. Time has passed. It's time where you lead by influence. And that's why I define leadership as your ability to inspire willing action. Are you able to inspire your team when you're not there to actually do that job yourself? Yeah. I see Wilfred here, my colleague, and I hope Saile niko nje bana nagusa golf unachapa job mbaya. Ndaongeza mshahara. Very good. So that's my definition of leadership. Your ability to inspire willing action. I don't have to be there for Wilfred to go out and, do his thing. For Ray to go out there and market and sell like crazy. But because you've sold a bigger cause, a bigger vision to the organization, people, soldiers are ready to go, and attack. That for me is the definition of leadership. Your ability to inspire that willing action from your team. So mine is simple. I've been asked how I do what I do, in terms of whatever organizations I've led. How do you do it? And my work is simple. I have the best brains in the house. My work is simply to harness that, rally the team behind the cause. So for me, it's simple. It's leadership centered around people. You take care of people, they take care of business. It's as simple as that. Then you don't have to hustle any day. You can actually go and swing that golf stick, Wilfred tena, Naenda kusukuma golf wewe una, lakini bora nimekuchunga. Okay. The way he's looking at me is like he's going to ask for M-Pesa right now. So, the reason I was called is to speak to you today is because of this video and I'll just show a snippet that went viral, I think, just before I came to Unga from Peptang. And it was an emotional moment for both my team and myself. And the question that has been asked is, how did it get here? And that's what we'll try to analyze today. I think the full clip is online somewhere. And before I knew it, I was in the air. Kwa kichwa nilikuwa nafikiri sasa wallet imeishia. No, just kidding. And I actually thank the guy who took the clip, because at that point when I was just about to drop the tear, akaikata. M-Pesa kwake. Yeah. So I've always asked myself, when I'm asked how did it get here? How did it get to such a gelling with a team, to be able to work together, to grow the business, to grow the top line, to grow the bottom line, to grow our numeric distribution, So I'll start from the beginning, I like I said, I show up as me. The guy who I went to Lokichar Primary School. From there I went to high school in Litein. In fact, I was supposed to go to Lodwar High, Mheshimiwa, but I begged that I don't go. Jua ilikuwa imenipiga bana. Yeah, we needed some cooling. So that's when I went to Litein. My dad was in the army, joined the army in 1964. You didn't need education, first lot into the forces. So you can imagine, ile kulimwa nililimwa kisoja, yeah? That's for the discipline's sake. In fact, I normally tell people, I was thrown to Turkana, being a cheeky boy. That was my Guantanamo Bay, yeah? So I did my sentence. Coming out from a large family of 8, my brothers and sisters, and this is the reason, bana. This is the reason I grind every day. My peeps, yeah. So beautiful Brenda, hey, Bia Kopale, very nice. We were in moral support, always there. Then Kim, Kevin, Kyle, and Karen. Yeah, we goof every day. And then the reason for my grind, like I said, my leadership started in back in Lokichar, then high school. So what nuggets of leadership can I be able to give today? You know. So I believe, in fact, sometimes people think that I call myself an irrational optimist. Okay. If you were to save my number, before you see it, that's my status, irrational optimist. I always see the good in people, okay? And sometimes can actually be a weakness, and people might want to take advantage of, and that I have to be conscious about. So if you are that kind of person where, you know, for me, I think everyone is well-intentioned, right? The reason people act in some crazy way or not being able to deliver on what they're supposed to deliver is probably some stress, which is a circumstantial thing. So how do we work around that? You know, I'm a heart guy, and I've said it before. I'm a heart guy, and my work is to make my colleague, my friend, or whoever it is that I interact with feel special. Okay, I look at you, I talk to you, I look you in the eye, I'm there, I'm in present when we're discussing. You are important. What you're saying is important to me. So ile unaambia mtu na kama, you know, you don't care, you're not there to, you don't feel the person, you know. And you know, most of the sharper guys who number driven forget they are not people centered. You know, it's about results, it's about numbers. That's why I said earlier, it's just take care of that guy, those numbers will come. It's about the process, not the end. So let's enjoy the journey. You can get all the billions in the bank, but for me, that end that doesn't justify the means. Yeah? The process has to be amiable. You know, today I'm at Unga, yeah, grinding. In fact, I normally say we are, milling is glorified kisiagi, for those who've come from, especially Kakamega. Wapi watu wa Ingo? Wamefurahi kujia ukali yako. You know, one day I'll have to walk out of there and go on and mingle with Wilfred, with Raymond. I see Andrew here, you know. But we have to be boys, you know. That was work, nothing malicious, nothing done, but because I did it out of a good heart, and that's exactly what I want you to do, you know. It's never, don't take it like, you know, don't forget humanity whenever you do whatever it is that you do at work. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. So trust, compassion, stability, those are the kind of things that people need from you as a leader. Okay? And if there's something that I learned, especially from Barack Obama, is actually to give the people hope. It sometimes can be tough. And my colleagues will tell you this time, cost of production, cost of raw material, it's just crazy. I've never bought a bag of unga for 6,500 shillings. No, a 90 kg bag. But that's what we are buying today. And the shareholder, of course, wants his dividend. When I come here, you don't want your unga to cost 200 bob, 250 bob. Mutanirushia mawe. What am I supposed to do? You know? So you leave, it goes to a point where you know it's a storm for a season. And you have to keep that hope alive, because that storm will come and pass. But that's what you need to tell your teams. They need to know that the future is well planned, is bright. There's a season that has come, and it's going to be a dip for now. But there's a better tomorrow. So let's grind today and give it our all, you know? So for those who are in leadership and aspiring into leadership, communicate to your teams, you know, the town halls here and there, create those bonds every now and then. And then the one thing I normally say is to put others first. In fact, biggest of friends beyond the employees, say for example in my previous place of employment, were actually vendors, and they're mostly mamas who brought nyanyas every day. And they would come and say, probably the cash flow is tight, but talk to them. Let them know that you got them. It's when the situation changes, we will pay you, you know. And they know if they want to come see Joseph, they'll come. Joseph will open the door. Yeah. And somebody will ask, how do you balance so that people don't take advantage of this? Sometimes people feel that your friendly becomes a weakness. You have to know where to, to draw the line. But conscious, and it's open conversation. This is possible, this is not possible. Simple as that, right? But if you are in a position, and I've just realized most of the times that people came to my office to ask for something, they're crying, problems, whatever, 90% of the time is just because I listened to them and they went feeling the problem is solved. They solved it. I didn't do anything. In fact, I was nodding my head thoroughly while maintaining that eye contact. And the person goes home feeling hard. So listening is a very important aspect of it. You have to invest in your employees, give opportunities, let them go for training, let them, if it's, resources for people to be able to execute, please provide the resources necessary, Then you have to be honest while communicating. That's very important. Sometimes we tend to sugarcoat things because things can't work and all that, but be as honest, be as transparent as you can possibly be, and create that trust between yourself and your team. Now, there are those who like to focus on mistakes of people. That one thing that you did, and they normally say, and I'm not saying anyone, they normally say there's a gender which doesn't forget. Munawajua? I didn't say, I read somewhere. It wasn't from me. Elephant memory. Right? Then you will be reminded of that particular instance of when you dropped the ball. So, tafadhali. And that gender could be the Alfred Ka gender, I don't know, or it's the Brenda gender, I don't know. But there's a gender that doesn't forget. Please let go, and encourage your team to know that they can make mistakes. You only learn through mistakes, and a mistake is only a mistake once it's repeated. When you repeat it, but more often, it's a mistake, and that's why people need to try. If you have to invest, let's invest. Sometimes you can burn a couple of millions, but the bigger, what if it works? What if it works? That is what we need to ask ourselves. One thing that I learned from my previous organization is creating that giving program, a culture where employees are part of, it can be you guys teaming up, going to a children's home, feeding those kids, and just connecting with, with the wananchi there, your customers and all. It can be, small thing as scholarships for shop floor employees, for example. We did scholarship for shop floor employees. We were taking just 4 kids every year, paying for them high school. If you think about it, it's per year government school 50K. 50K times 4, 200K. Yeah. But the ripple effect, the feel that the floor has, that the leadership cares about their children. It's no longer about that particular employee's child. It's a child of the whole floor that is packing tomato sauce, for example. Show that you care for your team, and let it be genuine care. Don't put up a show. Do it because you actually believe. I believe that education is a good, I don't want to say equalizer, because I know death is the equalizer, but education can actually help you sit with kings, people you never know that you could sit with one day. I would never have dreamt in my wildest dream, selling milk in Kibagenge, that I would one day stand here and speak about servant leadership. Never in my wildest dream. So for me, education is personal. So anytime, any opportunity to help and educate a kid, I would take. What is your passion? What are you passionate about? What is your impact to the society? I want you to interrogate yourself. So much so that recently we opened a foundation with my wife to just put as many kids as possible. When I get an extra M-Pesa, inaingia huko, so that what you take for mzinga moja, Na sijawaingilia, kuna watu wa EBL hapa, siharibu soko. But hiyo mzinga moja is actually education for a term, for a kid in some secondary school. Na sio tunasema msijibambe. But just think what impact you can have in people's lives. Then of course reward employees. Whenever you do well, let's reward employees. Now, for me, when I show up, I show up. Nimekam job, I show up. And the enthusiasm that I take my work with is, I don't want to say loudly, Brenda might think the work is competition. Lakini B, wewe ni number one. But there's also the passion and the enthusiasm I show up in the office with. Yeah? Just before I left Peptang, I had just gotten a call by the recruiter that you are indeed the guy to go to Unga. And I was seated there with my family. They were discussing, you know, how that market is and all that. And this one musikie kwa makini, na kenye nitasema tafadhali mutilie manani.
Public demand.
Sasa tumesema unga ni chogo. Na kama tumesema ni chapati, chapati ni X. Nikisikia mambo ya ajabu utaona maajabu. Nikisikia pembe unadunga na pembe. Kwa hivyo sisi kama serikali tumesema kwa sababu tulikuwa tunapenda Orchid Valley. Tunakula Orchid Valley na ugali. Asanteni sana.
Now, but I'm serious. Chapati ni X. Yeah? Na nikikupata unagongwa. Sawa. But that for me is, that's the passion, that's the enthusiasm. We are not all, and I agree, we are not all the same, we may not show up the same style, but that's me. Are you holding back? Could you show up more? You know, enjoy the gig, enjoy what you're doing. 90% of, a good percentage of the time you're at work. You'd better enjoy it. If it's not enjoyable, washana nayo, go twende tuandamane. You know? Sijasema hiyo. Kamera hapo una edit. Another important aspect for any good leader is great communication skills. You should be able to know how to communicate with your people, with your teams. Be very clear about what you want to communicate and be articulate as well. And these are things that can be built. Some are born, some are built. You know, if you feel that there's shortness, you know, your shortness in terms of how you publicly speak, think about, you know, things like Toastmasters. Go and practice your speaking, because you have to articulate yourself, you know, when you are talking to your teams. And one thing is, in communications, body language is very important. So saa zingine when I come and nimejaa, it can actually show. So just know that non-verbal communication is also big part of what you're communicating. So take that into consideration, right? The other thing is charisma, you know. People are likely to follow a likable person. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't be, you know, some serious guy. If that's your personality, that's your personality. But in terms of, you know, a charismatic person showing, so if there's a way to build that charisma, then there's more likelihood of followership, and then you can be able to rally that team behind the cause that you want them to go for. Okay. Now, I've worked with leaders who empower teams, and they've taught me a great lessons in life. And I've worked with leaders who micromanage everything. They want to do, they literally tell you everything. So in essence, I'm not the one taking the decision. I'm not the one, you know, having that, I'm not owning this. So even if it doesn't work out, I don't own it because I didn't even think it through. Empower your people. Let them do their things. Let them enjoy. Let them innovate. Yeah. Then if it backfires, he himself, he or she would want to, find a solution, own it. But if it's the other way around, where you micromanage your employees, then more often than not, ni shida yako. It's you. You're the problem. You broke it down to every little piece that you want me to deliver. Now, there's managerial competence and leadership, and probably this is a story for another day. How to define those things. Yeah. So there are managers who know very well about company processes, goals, all this, and we tend to mistake that for leadership, or doesn't go hand. Some don't have the leadership going hand in hand. Can that person go and inspire the team to be able to do what they need to do? Is the person empathetic to the to the team? So it's not necessarily just about the managerial competence that a person possesses, but you need a guy who's a motivator, a mentor, a guy who can actually inspire that whole organization to be able to go out and achieve the result that they want to achieve. And I'll tell you, sometimes it will be hard. Sometimes you need motivation. Sometimes I need inspiration. I need somebody to tell me you can actually do this. Because sometimes days are tough. Times are tough. Yeah. But you have to speak to yourself, because there's a lot of people looking up to you. Another very important component of leadership is decisiveness. Have you worked with someone who just can't make decisions? Have you? My God, you take forever. They do analysis paralysis. Scenario A, scenario B, scenario Z. And they still can't make that decision. Let me tell you something. And probably some people could have an advantage. I'm a CPA, like it was mentioned, right? So numbers I would tend to know when you're BSing me within probably 30 seconds of looking at your file. But what I normally say is, I don't take decision just by waiting for the full information to be there. Sometimes time is the money. Do I have 70% of the information? Do I have 80% of the information? Do I have 90% of the information? Take the call. 99% of the time, because of your gut, you will be right. And once in a while, it will go south. But you know what? It is an informed decision. Yeah. So there will always be a backup plan on how to remedy the situation. But man, if you have 70%, 80% of the information, just take the call. Don't keep people waiting. Let's move. Soko ikungoji, let's go. Now, another very key aspect, and my wife normally, one of the biggest characteristics is that she's very loyal. She's actually fiercely loyal. And for me, loyalty is reciprocal, even at work. You're loyal to me, I'm loyal to you. Do I do things that are actually, benefit my team members? They are my crew, they are my team. We are in this together. Yeah? I'm a servant. I'm in a position of service. Yeah? And the team sees that I commit to them. I am loyal to the cause. I'm loyal to them. Then they'll definitely reciprocate the same. This I will not go into details. It's integrity, and I'll leave it at that. It doesn't require any definition. If that is not there, then the whole presentation, you're not part of the whole presentation. It's a non-starter. Now, there are some principles of servant leadership, 10 of them, that I would like to share today. And I've mentioned number 1. I've talked about listening. And it's not just listening, it's active listening. Have you ever been with someone, you are talking, but unajua this guy is not with you? Huh? This, hayuko, sometimes you wanna unleash a serious kidero, a slap. But I need you to actively listen. Look at the guy in the eye. Look at the person you're talking to in the eye. Connect. Let them know that you are there. Be present. Okay? Another important thing is empathy. And let me tell you, there is no servant leadership without empathy. Putting yourself in the other person's shoe. Nothing, for me, that's, in fact, sometimes I'm a filler, you know, and it can be too much sometimes, because I actually look at it from your perspective first before I look at it from a perspective, and sometimes to the point of disadvantaging myself. So I'm very conscious, because that can be a weakness, and I'm very conscious about it. But first things first, I'll actually look at it from your point of view. What if I was in your shoe? Yeah? What would the decision I'm making today impact you? How would it impact you? Then on the basis of that, and of course from the heart to the head, make the call. Okay, so empathy for me is big, and it should be big for any person who wants to serve their team, who is a servant leader. Now, healing. I just put healing there because things are thick, man. In fact, today we were in a men's, in the office, something to do with men, stress and stuff like that. Boy child. Tuache kujinyonga. Yeah? I know there's so much pressure on the boy child today. You know, we've taken so much care of the girl child. Now we need to take care of the boy child. Too much stress. I think you're carrying, men don't talk. I'm part of an organization called YPO, Young President Organization. And at YPO, there's one thing that I love about YPO. It's called Forum. In Forum, we are like 7 or 8 brothers. And those are your brothers for sure. Not blood brothers, but brothers. These are the guys, when things are thick, you go. We have Forum every month. We meet from 4 to 6 or 7, and after that we do dinner together. And that 4 to 6 we say nobody, nothing, nobody, never. Whatever you say there is safe. And we talk. We talk. This is what is in my heart. This is what is disturbing me. You know, from personal to work, to strategic thinking, to health. Those are the guys who tell you go and start intermittent fasting. I got it there. Now I'm doing intermittent fasting, and I'm happy to report that I've lost 4 kgs. Lakini kuna mwingine aliona nimekonda akasema nikiendelea nitaenda. Bado I'm still yet to get to my BMI level, so HR for purposes of insurance I'll still work on it. But it's having those people who you benchmark with, who talked to you, who you can actually let it out, and especially as a boy child, you know. And then servant leaders are aware. You know, there's situational awareness. You know, don't just be caught. You know, there's a way that you just, the radar is up. You know, you can be able to, you know, sense some things. Yeah. The other very important component is persuasion. And you'll find probably this one comes mostly from politicians, where they persuade people, and you have even up to cultic following. But because of how you speak to the team, how you connect with people. So you have to be able to persuade me. I have to be able to persuade Wilfred that we're on a journey for growth. We're on a turnaround journey, and there's hope, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah. So that for me is very critical. You should be able to, you know, for me, conceptualize, you know, it's about ideas. You know, you'll sit with creatives, you'll sit with people, innovators, you know, are you able to, you know, conceptualize ideas? Do you have foresight, for example, a vision? Are you able to see what tomorrow holds? I mean, do scenarios, you know, because you are leading people. You have to, you are the eye of the organization. People depend on you, but working with them, getting, insights, you actually are able to, do some foresight in terms of telling what the future holds. And you're a steward, you as a leader, you're a steward of the ship. You're holding, you're holding the organization in trust for everyone. Unga goes down today, the ripple effect of that is just out of this world. From employees to, distributors affected, to farmers, to all that. You are a steward, and your work is to actually take care of the, I would say, God-given responsibility. Yeah. Now, commitment to growth of people. You as a leader, you have to be committed to growing your teams. Most of the times we leave our teams to a guy has been sitting there forever. Okay, sometimes, and I normally tell people, and especially the young guys, be a little bit of everything. You are specialized in your role, but you can, some leadership, you need to do some leadership or move departments so that I was in finance, for example. I just recently completed CIM. That's why I can actually belong. Yeah, I think last year I graduated. And I never stayed at a department, say, especially during my early stages. 2 years, 3 years, I moved to the next department. If that department is not coming, it will be the next company, And if I've mastered this, because I want to broaden my knowledge, I want to broaden my know-how, I want to work with different people, I want to see different cultures, So I have to make myself as all-rounded as possible at an early age. And that's exactly what I did, from insurance to, to finance industry, to telco, to manufacturing. And it's been an awesome journey. So for the young guys, I'm not saying uende mtoke. And Andrew, you usi resign bwana ati nimesema uende kampuni. We talk where we can move you. But the point is, grow. Don't go to a point where you become deadwood. You've reached a dead end. Grow. Push yourself, okay? And never wait for the opportunity to be given to you. Go and ask, grab. Ngoja uumiza matumbo. You have to go and ask. And then, of course, you build a community around you. That's what I was talking about, going to visit a children's home. Somebody's going home, the baby shower in the office, such things. So that we form a camaraderie. The one that I can never forget is when I used to work for Unilever. The same finance team we were together, we are in the same WhatsApp group, and we help each other throughout to date. And you'd think we were a family. We formed a bond that transcends, transcends any relationship. We are community, and we are there for each other. And how we did it, and we probably need to do. We used to have a Monday bonding session every Monday, 7:30 to 8:30, thereabouts. And it would start with, how was the weekend? How Arsenal was beaten, because Man U always wins, na mtu asiongea mambo ya 8 ama ilikuwa ngapi? Ilikuwa 7. We have security around here, so let's be careful. So and I'll repeat, when Arsenal is beaten, we discuss in that session that morning, from there to, go to topic about family, for example, to beat or not to beat your child. Some of us were hammered like crazy. Probably to be, and I argue, I'm probably who I am today because of, the vita I kutana nayo. Then my wife tells me I turned out all right. I'm a CEO of my own company, and I was never beaten a day. Those are the kind of discussions we have. You have, to just create that bond, and it transcends. And once you create those bonds, you're working with the family. This is your peeps. You're actually looking out for them. We're in the same cause. So as I near conclusion, there's some quotes that I just live by. For you as a leader, first rule: everything is your fault. Buck stops with you. Yeah. Whatever happened, we got a banker's check that was given. It's a fake one. I'm in fault. Why did we supply goods when that bank? And you don't know the customer, of course. You don't know that transaction, but it's your fault. That's the first rule. Then we'll deal with the rest after. Okay? Now, there's this thing where, I don't know, we're in a rush to go where everything needs to be done today. Eh? Andrew, don't take this one side, but pia kesho ni siku. Eh? Lakini sio unaenda home saa 9. But, you know, I'm just saying, we don't have to kill ourselves, you know. There's something that is more important also, that is called family. You need to create your time for family back at home. You see, this last one, you can't lead at the highest, most needed level if you manage at every level. That's the micromanager I was talking about. Most of the time, you want to be a part of every single process. You become a stumbling block because everything needs your approval. Yeah? So you can't manage at every single level if you're to lead at the top. And that's very important. You as a leader, your words carry a lot of weight. So you have to watch your words. What you say can actually trigger maandamano or something like that. So you have to be very, very cautious with your words. Yeah? It's almost like a parent's word, you know, because people look up to you. So what you say can actually motivate or demotivate your teams. And the one thing I want you to know and remember is that the toughest person to lead is you. That's the toughest person to lead. And you have to get out of your way. Yeah? So get out of your own way. Sometimes you are self-sabotaging yourself. Believe in yourself. Show up. Yeah? Don't be engrossed in things that probably are taking away the key focus that you need to be able to lead your teams, you know. So stop being your own stumbling block. And while at it, my people, I always say, have fun, bana, YOLO, maisha ni moja. Enjoy life. So when I finish being stressed by unga ya 200 bob, I go ride my bike and enjoy, bana, the breeze, the cool, whatever. Lakini siku hizi, I was told because the children have gotten to 4, I actually downgraded now. Niko na ile, this was 1,000 cc, now we are doing 400 cc. I'm almost now using a bicycle. I'm coming. Babe, I'm coming. Eh? So if lost, if you see me anywhere, please return me to babe. Hi, babe. And by the way, help me, bana. Give me bonga points. It was her birthday yesterday. Tuseme tu happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Brenda, happy birthday to you.